Hello, everybody. Bryan here. Just wanted to let you know we're getting all lined up. You guys have been asking for this for a long time. Let me get it to you. So let me share my screen here, and we are going to do something that I've never done before. Share screen. Boom. Voila. There we go. Okay. This is it. This is what you've been waiting for. People have been asking me for a long time. Hey, Bryan, we want to see your third party verified account. So let's go through it. This is what you've been like, wanting. Okay, first things first, we are going to look at the public portfolio. This is on CoinTracking.info, just so you know. I take a lot of pride in this. First thing I want to show you, most people go, well, can you show us that there's actual trades going through? Let me show you how it works. Right here under alerts, if you look, Binance is through the API synchronizing all the latest trades, which is real time or close to real time. No later than 24 hours. I would even say a couple hours. So here, what we have is all the live trades coming in from Binance. I'm now testing Kraken again. Hopefully that'll work out for the US. So here, these are the number of trades so far, a couple hundred through March and April. Here's the value. Okay, so let me just show you what we're dealing with here, the history. Let me see right here. So 2019, actually 2 years ago, very close to 2 years. It started at $277. It's just roughly. Now it's close to $5,000. I have not funded this account since. So all of this is pure profit from this principal of a few $100s. This is why I work only now pretty well only on crypto because of that performance. Obviously, you see the performance of Bitcoin. That's when things started to take off. So this is if I was to show you the typical trading chart of Bitcoin, it's a lot of it's to do with Bitcoin, but my holdings are now moving more and more into USD Tether as the bots are starting to really perform well. Here, as I said here, this amount that I've talked about at the balance here, nearly 5,000 US. It's the current amount. What we have here is about another 1,000 floating around in either Kraken account, exchange account, or the Coinbase. So it's another 1,000 US. So actually, I have probably $6,100, and this fluctuates a couple $100 a day, built around my performance of the bot as well as Coinbase. But I'm going to move everything probably in the Coinbase from Coinbase to Kraken, and that's an XRP. And if you've seen today's video on XRP, man, I'm glad I have it. It was a nice 10%, 20% bump, and it broke through $1. So it's a nice coin to have if you have it in XRP, coming off of that lawsuit with the SEC. So just by luck again, holding XRP, I've got an extra $200-300. No different a few weeks ago where I got an extra $700 holding BNB when BNB was performing. So I'm very happy about that, obviously. So most of it's going to eventually move. The holdings will move eventually. A lot of it will move to USDT. Okay, so let me show you what I like about Coinbase. Sorry, what I like about CoinTrackinginfo. So in here we have reporting. So we have trade statistics. So now I really don't need to rely so much on my little trading reports that I build out. I get them all here. Okay, different holdings, different day. But where it really matters is, it's a little weird, but I have my daily balance, balance by exchange, and balance by currency. And there is trading coins by, I want to show you unrealized profit, SNL, and the total trade analysis. So if I was to show you the trade analysis, this is it here. I don't know why this doesn't get updated, up to date, because it should be up to date. Oh, I see. Yeah, let me see if it might be the coins. Let's see what happens if I pull up USDT, if that gets everything updated. Is that from today? 4.9. So this is based out of Germany. So yeah, these are some of the trades that were traded, I believe, today. Yeah, 9th, the 4th, April 9th. So that looks like it's working. So unfortunately, I don't know why they don't give you the P&L, but you got to remember that this is an exchange, not a broker, where you get a position and then you have to open and close or exit and entry, and I'll show you the P&L at the end. This is an exchange, meaning you're buying and you're selling. Okay. So let me see here, daily balance. Here is the stats each day. Okay. So if you watch my previous video, this is the overall performance that I'm getting per day. Okay. So let's say beginning of April. So we're up 3%, 2.87, down 0.531, and so on. So as I move everything more into Tether, USDT, it'll be more stable, and you should see the volatility as I really iron out these new bots. Thanks for as I iron out these bots to start producing consistent profit. It's part of the overall tweaking process with the new bots that they've got, which can take anywhere from a month to 2 months. So we got 2 bots right now: the Binance Futures, which only trades Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin. Then there's the spot bot, which only trades the top performing bots. So last 2 days have shown some growth day after day, but before that, it's just nothing but a mess. It's up and down. So I'm trying to earn that out. If you have any questions, let me know. So with my gains, is a spot bot can occasionally be insane returns. Is it a mistake to limit daily profit to 15%? Just so you know, with my gains, I reduced it down to 4 based upon the last couple of days. Today was an exceptional day. See, because it gets kind of confusing because I'm here in East Standard. So my time zone would be now. So the only thing I can really look at is up to yesterday of the 8th. So I'm up 5% there. But then you have these higher days of up moves and down moves. So to answer your question about these daily targets, what I'm going to be doing is having the bot program the daily target based upon, I don't know yet, the time period. If it's going to be over a couple of days, a day, 5 days. Rare, where it would make 40-80% would pay a lot for the 5% down days. That's what I'm hoping. But again, that depends upon the overall market. Okay. So that's what's controlling that. So here's the trade list. Let's see what we have here. So you see all of it's right now in USDT. Most of the active trades, there's some transfers here, testing transfers, and I'm still trying to figure out this borrowing fee and whatnot, but it's not very much. So there is that. So here is our trading statistics, and not only with CoinTrackinginfo, but you get really good stats as well. So here you get tax information. Let's see if I can find anything else. So you can do Bitcoin analysis, which is really good as well. So this, as far as I know, a lot of the Bitcoin positions you see here, a Bitstamp or whatever else, this is using all of CoinTracking's customers, and all their accounts are all put in here of these overall performance. So the good thing is that here, this is way more accurate than you would get on CoinMarketCap, because that's owned by Binance. So that might be skewed towards Binance to make Binance look better, meaning it could be fake data, right? Here, this is across who knows how many thousands of accounts live trading with CoinTracking.info, because CoinTracking.info has got over 5,000 reviews on Android alone, all fives, if you looked at the Play Store. So it's at least that, probably more, plus desktop users. They're probably in excess of 10,000 users, all of this data combined. So I'd rather use this than now CoinMarketCap. So there's some interesting stats here on the dominance of Bitcoin as well as against Ethereum. I just can't remember where I've seen it. Let's see here. So there's, I don't know if these are user statistics across. Yeah, this is what I want to show you. So this is the average number of Bitcoins, currencies of each user. I think this is within CoinTracking. So here you go. From the date data of, look at this, 806,000 CoinTracking users. So this is much more accurate to use than CoinMarketCap, but you have to pay for this. So essentially you're going to see, where is it? Right here. This is important. Okay, so this is a true reflection of over 700,000 users using CoinTracking live trading accounts. Okay, hodling, algorithmic trading, I don't know, but this is pretty staggering. Look at the volume here, percentage of Bitcoin, and then you get Ethereum. Everything else is like chump change in order. So all these smaller exchanges are pretty well irrelevant, okay? But you can see here, and I can confirm this, that Litecoin XRP is an accurate what I would see on both futures market for Binance and futures market for Kraken, and maybe even Coinbase Spot. So this is deadly accurate, this volume right here. That's why you see more positions in Bitcoin or Ethereum with the futures bot, okay, because of this actual reflection, which I'm really surprised is that the USD holding is not as high. Because if you're an API or algorithm-based trading bot, most people would hold everything in USDT because it's a stable coin. It's the largest stable coin out there. And I'm surprised that XRP is bigger than USDT, because no matter what I trade, I want to hold USDT. And as I said earlier, I want to move everything to USDT and get everything into Bitcoin. And rely on these bots that are proving to trade and outperform Bitcoin. And I've shown tons of bot or coins that have done that, usually through the spot bot. So that's this. But this is a very accurate reflection on who owns what. So here, so that's top 50 coins by value, and here's the holdings, okay? So it's still kind of wrong, but look, USDT is only 16% of the whole thing. But between Ethereum and Bitcoin, they're the monsters of those holdings. And as I said, this is much, much, much more accurate, okay? So here's the historical. So you get all these interesting stats that you get across the 600, 700,000 users. If any of you guys have any other questions, let me know. So there's that. So this is a really good section. Coin charts, let's look at these. These are what I hold, and they have something called dust holdings. So you're gonna see tiny, tiny amounts of coins that I hold that are left over because, you know, when you close out a trade, there's gonna be some tiny amount of certain coins still out there that have not been cleaned up. So back in the old days with Binance, there was an option in your account where you can clean up those dwarf, draft, or dust orders. I can't remember what they call them. And then there was an option in there to convert them all to BNB. And I did that. And because I did that over the length of a year or two, I got $700 because I converted everything over to BNB and just held on BNB. And it's just a holding strategy, but I got lucky there. But I will tell you right now, what I am seeing is that I will tell you that XRP looks like the coin to hold long term, because that just broke through $1 today, and that's very exciting. And they've gotten past the SEC case. So if you want to hold a coin that's going to move, I would probably look at XRP. Okay, because that's going to move. I kind of see that happening. So I'm just trying to see anything. So coin trends. This is probably. Oh, it's still loading at your currencies. So the nice thing about coin tracking is you can either have everything listed in BTC or everything listed in USD. So obviously I relate better to USD. So let's see what's been happening. As you know, up until maybe a week ago, I thought Theta was on the move. It's starting to drop off. You can see here that it's down quite hard compared to the other coins. So Filecoin's moving pretty good, but that might not be long term. Here's Ripple. So it's down, but look at that 7-day trend, 68%. So knowing these sort of things will help you out to know what to hodl. So that's why I like coin tracking for this sort of thing, so that you know 30-day up 125, while Bitcoin's only giving you 0.17. So as I said earlier, this confirms what I've been saying, is that you want to hold XRP. Well, I mean, you got other coins here that really, but out of all the big coins, easily. Let's see, let me just, yeah, but you can easily say out of big coins, XRP is the one to hold. And I think long term it's going to do quite well. So that's a really good feature for this coin trends. Coin price calculator I could use. Maybe this is where you enter in your accounts, your account info from all these different. It's not just exchanges; it could be wallets. I mean, I think there's Tesla in there somewhere as well. But it's really good. Let's see. I don't know if Tesla or sorry, Ledger is in there somewhere, but I think you can do that. So this is really good for that, for what you pay, and that you can import for free. So you can set up your account with coin tracking for free with all these exchanges and data wallets and other sources, and you can also do it via API. Okay, so in my case, I'm using Binance, and I can reload the Kraken. I could do Coinbase, but hopefully you see my video earlier today of me ragging on about Coinbase. So there's that. Cool. Wallet imports, yeah. So you can, yeah, there's Ledger Live right there that you can load in. That's what I have. And then, of course, blockchain and whatever else. Okay, so we have the reporting now. One thing I would really concern yourself over is the trading fees. So because it's synchronized to my accounts, this will total up everything. And basically, I can do the reports by obviously PDF, CSV, Excel. Here, everything obviously is going to be mostly charged in BNB, just due to the fact everything in Binance is commissions are charged in BNB. So just so you know, a couple of things here. You can see that the transfer costs for Bitcoin, Ethereum are out of control. Okay, so do not, as I've said before in other videos, do not transfer money in or crypto in Bitcoin or Ethereum. I would transfer it in XMR. I've done, XRP. I've transferred probably a couple of grand already, and you can see it's a very small amount, $1.50 versus $30, $60, or $20. I don't know what time period this is for, but just a comparison of everything, stick with XRP wherever you can to transfer. It's very, very fast. It's very, very trustworthy because it's big now. The top 5 coins, as well as XRP is really good for, you get it fast within 10 minutes usually. Very low fees as well. So what are we here? We're under reporting. Yeah, so we're going to go through here along here. So I'm showing you, let me show you the daily balance. So I think I showed you this before. So you can see here the overall balance on the coins and the account itself. A lot of this is due to the performance of my trading actively. And up until, I'd say, March, it was mostly March, April was like heavy trading, but there's still an intermingle of holdings in there that also add to the account, which is mostly coming from the account itself, the interest. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get and transition more and more and more into live trading as these bots start to really work out. I've got 3 people that were fairly happy that they're seeing profit from today after I fix this bug. So, moving forward, that's what we're after. And I've shown that in another video that we got 2. So once you start getting that underway, then that's what's about to blow up the account, right? And so that's our daily balance. Current balance, you pretty well know. I got another grand out there on another exchange in Coinbase that I've not imported over the API, but I have to redo Kraken once I get that. But there's been problems with Kraken. But from what I understand with the support, they have said that the Kraken import should be pretty fast, but we'll see when we do it. Daily balance we looked at, balance by exchange, everything, a good chunk of it's right now, but what we'll show here in Binance, because Kraken and Coinbase are kind of like, you got a little balance here, and I don't know what the total amount, a couple $100, or well, it should be a couple $100, but there's another $1,000 out there that hasn't been registered. This one is XRP, and it's the transferring out in XRP into from Binance to Coinbase and or Kraken. You start your trading days each night at midnight. Yeah, it's midnight my time, Eastern Standard, same as New York. Could you set up a schedule where you do 2 trading sessions per day, one at midnight and one at noon? I have thought about that. I've thought about doing it even by 4 or 6 hours. There is what we're looking at is, if you were on Monday night, we were talking about probabilities. Today was a good example. What you're asking is, when I fixed the bug around 12 noon my time, within an hour I got 8% on that bot. I wiped it and then let it run again, and I got another 10% over the next 2 hours. So if they were broken up in 2 trading sessions, I would have been up 18%. So there is that, but what you're faced with is a probability of hitting your peak return on investment for the day, and knowing when to turn it off and keep it off until Monday, because that's when you're factoring in fear and greed, right? So that's part of the challenge of this whole process. Okay, there are ways to manage the account using something like Kelly Criterion as an example, but I might apply that down the road. And again, this is where machine learning comes in as well, to help maintain using AI to maintain your portfolio. So there's some options there as well. And as the account grows and you get more positions on parallel, blah, 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 portfolio optimization all has to be considered. But right now it's all slow. So I don't want to get too greedy and just set a daily target. And now I'm at a point, as I said earlier, where I can set the daily target and maybe do and split it up into different trading sessions. That is something I thought of. If you did 2 trading sessions, you might discover that one session has a better performance for one reason or another. Well, that's the thing. If you have one reason or another, that could be random each day, and there's no pattern to it. You might get a pattern of for a few days or maybe a week of which one would be better, but it changes all the time. And if there's a system that can be developed to do the self-adapting, that's all the better. So in my case, with a daily target, as I said, I can program it to self-adapt to the performance of the last 2-3 days. It's just really that's where it really comes down to get optimal daily targets. On the downside, the max drawdown, I don't think it's unreasonable to say universally that 5% is good. You just don't let the bot drop below 5% for the day, because industry standards will tell you if you have drawdown days of more than 15%, it's not a good fund to be in because the manager doesn't know what they're doing. So that's industry standard. And that's why a lot of professional portfolio managers that do the more mainstream assets are very careful, especially if they have a CFA or an accounting designation or something, because it's their track record and their level of professionalism is what matters. So here you have all of it. You can see by Kraken or Binance, because there's different holdings in each exchange. Binance by currency. As I said, I don't know if this is by cryptocurrency. Let's see here. Looks like there's some transfers that happen. So universally, you can set a profile to list everything in USD or BTC. For me, being an old guy, I'm used to, and it makes more sense because USD is going to be more stable. So I just set everything to USD. Coins by exchange. So here, obviously, most of it's going to be Binance, but let's see BTC. BTC. So Kraken would be listed there once Kraken becomes much more used more. Kelly Criterion would suggest that it's best to set a limit loss of about 2.5%. Yeah, because that's what I like about Kelly Criterion. It's sort of like it throttles the trading allowance for you. There's some tips and tricks that I've learned with Kelly Criterion, but it's an industry standard that you can use to help allocate your. Anyways, here we are with the coins by exchange. What else we got here? Realized and unrealized. I don't think this is the whole big deal. So here, we're looking at $50 USD profit, 68 in USD, so on and so forth. Okay, so we got that. Short and long. This really confuses me. So we have short and long. With everything I do, I only do long. Okay, if somebody had a confusion why I do shorting, I only do long. Okay, down the road I might do options. Obviously that would entail more shorts. I think the shorts are considered here when you do a sell. That's what I think this means. Trade analysis we've already gone through. Buy sell for today. Let's see, dashboard. I think we're pretty well done. And as I said, there's a tax report as well. So that's pretty well the account. And there's some good things that I see in this that I can use. Little reports, because they're probably going to be way off compared to the official of CoinTracking. And then once I get everything in USDT and have the bot pretty well trade everything from USDT, then you'll be able to get a better idea of how the bot's performing. But overall, this is the performance overall right here. This is what matters. So, from $200 to, whatever it is, 5,000 plus another 1,000, that's pretty good. That's it. If there's any other questions, great. If not, I'm going to shut her down. And the next step is to start working with the Windows Server 2019. Okay, so anything else at all? If not, I'm going to shut her down. Thanks for watching. So what does this mean for me? Well, now that I have this all set up, you're seeing everything working. You see the performance just from crypto alone, automating with the bots. You see from $200 roughly, $300 to $5,000. What does that mean? Well, now that I'm doing this and it's also in real time, I'm now going to be able to charge premium for this. So as a result, it's $9.97 for annual for everything. That price is going to change. And I'm looking at very quickly, for sure, doubling this, because I've got people just to learn a course and be part of a chat room. And here you're also getting your automated trading. You get, let's say, warrant trading, $6,000. If you want to get mentored by the King Anton Krell, it's about $15,000. And again, you're just learning. You're not getting your automated trading, and you don't even know what his track record is, because he's just some so-called professional trader out of England. What to do? Okay. All right. So here's another question from with my gigs. When you say 5%, do you mean based on the current total account balance? No. If I'm going to have starting midnight trading, and every trade, if it's 100, 200, whatever, and each will have its own entry and exit, and each of those exits against the entry will have a return on that investment for that position. So those positions get totaled up, and it's the 5% that I'm speaking of from that total. So if it's declining more or dropping more than 5% since midnight of all those each position, they'll cut off the trade, because it doesn't want to trade in a falling knife environment. You don't want to overtrade. I will tell you right now, this is the number one tip I can tell you for risk management. You do not get greedy, okay? Because if you're able to get 1% a day, they consider you a rock star. If you're able to do this, like 4 or 5% a day, and remember, this is 7 days a week, and it's doing all right. So the 5% will keep it, and as I said, will achieve and maintain the capital. You will get some losses here and there for sure. It's part of the risk of trading. So that's how it works. Okay, so a question is, when other clients trading with a smaller account need a different percent loss set for the individual account size? No. What happens there? That's an interesting question. If you have a smaller account, let's say a couple $100 in your wallet, it's available to trade. What will happen is your signals will still come in. Depending upon your account, if there's not enough crypto in the wallet, you get an exception and it'll fail. But if you have 1,000 or US dollar equivalent, you should be able to cover all the trades. So it doesn't really matter about the account size, doesn't matter, but the overall, call it master 5%, it's going to shut down against my account. And that's kind of how it would work. I could run it 24/7. Problem is, if I let it go, I could show you days where the bot was taking 40, 50% losses. You don't want that under any circumstance. Kelly Criterion would suggest as your account gets bigger, you shouldn't be taking more and more risk. So just so long you limit the account balance loss to 2.5% per trade. Right. Usually I don't get more than 1% of a trade. I mean, I can look at it, but the returns are so small, especially if it's against Bitcoin. I will tell you what the Kraken bot that I had a few months ago, where it went from $16,000 November 11th, the full value of a Bitcoin. If you look at it somewhere in here, Bitcoin, what would happen is that bot was specifically designed as a lesson. When on the order book, it has the trigger for an entry, it would just pound the exchange with a lot of Bitcoin positions or Ethereum, whatever was moving up at that time. And you could throw whatever and it would just go up. There was days like that. So what would happen is you would have maybe 5-10 positions on Bitcoin open. And again, this is all paper trading, but you would have 5-10 positions at $16,000. So if you're able to cover that from within the wallet, of let's say 100,000, maybe 200,000, 16,000 a piece, you would cover all those trades. And then when it caught the coin to start to drop, what would happen was just immediately close all positions. And that's why it was so like very lucrative. And that's the key, because other people will hang on to the trade. You talk to any real trader, they'll tell you if you see it losing momentum of the prices, the price gets driven up, you just close the trade and all open positions. You don't hang on, you just close everything. That means that you will pay in commission fees. And I can tell you, I was tracking also simulated commission fees with Kraken, and as it approached $1 million, I would say it was up at least 30% in commission fees because there's so many trades. But you're up 700 grand from $16,000, so you would easily eat up those commissions, no problem. And as a result, you know, from 16 grand to let's say 700K roughly, you net. Of course, you could easily trade like that. I would kind of call it like a high frequency trading strategy for both Bitcoin and Ethereum when it was moving like it did in November. It was awesome. Unfortunately, I missed out on that due to the fact that I didn't have $16,000. I mean, close now, but for me to trade like that now, you know, I need out $60,000 for where Bitcoin's at. So, but at least I can still get a piece of the action with 6,000-7,000. And again, I started this 2 years ago from 200, $300. So I'm still pretty happy about that. So with crypto, there's a lot of opportunity there. You just got to make sure you have enough to cover when you want to go full throttle. So with the spot bot and Binance, it's usually going to have at maximum 2 positions. And again, when you get source code, if you sign up, you can set those, you can easily set those position sizes. Right now, I set it up at minimum, but I will tell you right now, and I'm still early days on it, they'll tell you you can have a minimum trade at 10 USDT or 10 Tether. That's a budget hui. $15 is what I've seen. But now lately, a fill won't even take place unless you're giving it a $50 position size. So it's all over the platform. And sometimes depending upon the coin, depending upon the volume, depending upon what's going on for the coin and the overall market, sometimes you may not even get a fill for 100 USDT because all my customers are now getting exceptions. And I'm trying to collect as many as I can to correlate it. Now, is it the account, or is it the coin, or is it a combo of both, or is it a combo or separate, where it's performance of the momentum of the coin and the overall market on top of the size that you're taking as well. So enchilada of a mess. They're trying to figure out why certain coins get filled and why certain coins don't get filled. On average, I'd say at least half are getting filled from what I'm seeing. Now, if you take that over to Kraken and Coinbase with a tiny account of, let's say, a couple $100, I think you're gonna have a lot of problems getting fills. And this is on the API exchange, not the Coinbase. I'm talking Coinbase Pro and Kraken. And then there's Kraken Futures, but I'm now talking about Kraken Spot. But I do think it's a theory that the bigger the order size, the bigger in your account, you can cover that trade, you'll get a fill. But usually because these small amounts that I was at, let's say, I don't know, 500 Tether or USDT or sorry, US dollars, I was not getting any fills at all on both Kraken and Coinbase. And what frustrated me a lot about those exchanges, I had questions, these questions that I'm talking about, but there was no there was no support. There was no responses really on Coinbase. That's where I got really ticked off with those exchanges, the US exchanges. But with Binance, I was happy to get some fills. It might be because I have a bigger account. So I don't know the answers yet. But as they do more of this and pound it more, I'll have better answers. And depending upon where the performance is, I'll easily put wherever I see the fills are, the performances as well. And right now, I'm just holding a lot of Bitcoin against the portfolio and a little bit in Tether just to cover some of the basic trades with the automation or the bots. And then as I'm starting to see things come together now over the last 2 days, let's say, I'll be putting more and more into USDT. Because that's where I'm seeing the performances. And if you see my videos, you'll know what I'm saying. So it's really hard to gauge the criterion, the Kelly criterion with a per trade, per size, and the return of each position. This is all now moving into the next era because most people don't get to this point. It's one thing to have a working bot, a working strategy. Getting to that point is very difficult. Once you're there, and now it's just a matter of tweaking this and that, and the next thing, which I'm doing with a daily target and Now I can start focusing on what they call portfolio optimization. So that's what I'm going to focus on and figure out if there's some just simple Kelly criterion math I can apply or some simple AI machine learning techniques I can use as well. So there's that. This is the real hard part. Getting a working strategy is kind of now the easy part. It's the real tough part is the portfolio optimization, and that's part of the risk management as well. Right now, the risk management is very simple. It's just set a target, keep as much money as you can, don't take losses, and reduce and minimize the losses as much as possible, which I have, and set it just universally across 5% for the overall trading for the day. Because now you're dealing with, when you split up these trading sessions, you're now dealing with fear and greed, but you got to let the math overall rule the day and let the market performance overrule. Because if you're getting 4% a day, you should be happy with that. I mean, if you could get 20% a day, that'd be awesome. But then it comes down to probabilities. And because you're trying to achieve something that might not be achievable the next day, you're now taking more losses. So if you saw my equity curve, that's why that is there, because you're not controlling your overall. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, let me just show you what I'm speaking of here. If you got any other questions, let me know, because that's what we're doing here. So let's see, questions. I'm just trying to find the equity curve. Let me see here. Give me a second. Where's the equity curve? So we have yesterday. I'll bring up the most up-to-date 2 days old. Hopefully this will load out. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here. This is the equity curve on the spot bot. You just look at it, it's all over the place. And it's starting at 0. We hit some days when the overall portfolio went negative. And now, if you don't set daily targets, this is what you're going to get. Okay, so if I know I'm going to put X amount of capital here, and I'm starting over here. You're at 0, okay, from 2 days ago or yesterday. So now they're going to have more control on the daily profit. I've achieved X amount. So the bot will be deploying X amount of crypto in Tether based upon performance. And once it reaches a certain target, which is 4%, it shuts down. So today we had that same thing. The only difference was I was watching it, and I was watching somebody else's account as well. And as I said, I'm hoping we achieve an additional 4% of what was traded. Sorry, 8% in the first hour from 12 to 1 my time. And then between 1 and 3 or 4, it added on another 10%. So around 3, 4 o'clock my time, I saw that the ROI was not growing. So I knew that the market for that day at that time was slowing down. It was petering out because it was growing 8% the first hour and another 10% over the next 2-3 hours, but it was petering out. If I let that trade continue, it would have taken losses. So now we're going from 10% down to maybe negative, down to 5%. So if I stop, I'm able to retain that 10%. So what's happening is we're now in a crapshoot. If the markets drop, which you can allow, in my case, let's say 5%, if it drops below to keep dropping, is it going to turn into a potential crash, basically? So if it's going to turn into a potential crash during that time, that's what you don't want, because that's when you're going to start getting what they call wrecked. So you don't want that. So that's why you got to set these targets. If your max drawdown for the day is more than 5%, just shut down. That's okay. You got next day. And you will have prior days where you got 10, 20%. So those will net out quite easily on the 4 or 5% day losses. But here, you don't want your overall portfolio to go below your starting capital, or in my case here, just over 2,000. So now it's taken a good couple of weeks before it's starting to grow. Here at group, I dropped back. That's because I just let it trade. And that's dangerous. You're not going to grow an account like that. You have to keep on top of it if you're doing this manually, but more specifically, you have to set a daily target. For stocks and Forex, people are happy to have 1%, 0.5%. Here, it's going to self-adapt based upon prior market performance over the days. So with my gaze, what you need is another bot that tracks momentum of your trading ROI. Once it detects a slowdown, the average, consider stop. Exactly. Well, I'm doing that within the same bot. It's just really, if you see my spreadsheets, we have the ROI for the position and then the ROI for the overall trades for the day. So it's a total ROI, which is the total for the day. So that's what it's watching. If that total ROI for the day, which is total trades for the day, says midnight, if it starts to drop below 5%, it just shuts down, because probability says statistically it will continue to go past 5% if you reach that. That's what my statistics have shown over the last 4 weeks. But I can use that now overall to self-adapt and program whatever that automate all that. But the upside's the harder part, because you can have one day where you can have 10% for the day, 20% for the day. Geez, last Monday or the Monday prior, it was up over 100%. So those days are rare. But if the momentum's strong enough, you let it ride until based upon some average over a set number of days. But the problem is that if for whatever reason you have 3 really, really, really strong days, and then that third, fourth day it drops like a stone, which can happen. I mean, you look at this report here. You know, you can see. Let me just go to the dashboard here. You can see that, and it's been like that for the last few days. I mean, look at the choppiness in Bitcoin on its own. That's what we're talking about. So it's really important to watch that and not get greedy. Let the math do it, but if you can develop it and program in a way where it can self-adapt and set that daily target with an optimal target each day based upon past performance, you're good to go. So yeah, but you can do all that within the same bot, use the same spreadsheet. That's not a problem. Anybody else? I don't know. It's just me and you with my games. But that's the overall performance. Let me know if you're a customer already with my games, because you're under a pseudonym, so I don't know if you're a customer of mine. If you're part of my analytics, let me know. But as I said, if for anybody new watching this, now that I have this coin tracking, I'm able to demonstrate it. We're going premium. We're going Cadillac service. It's going to be very, very, very expensive now. And these kind of videos are going to catch the attention of some very high net worth portfolio managers, individual traders that are interested in crypto, and they'll be able to meet the prices that I set, because it's happened in the past, can happen again. I just don't know who's watching. That's why I'm more focused on YouTube because that audience is out there. I know they're watching this stuff. I got over 9,000, 10,000. Some of them may be even on my Telegram now. I don't know, but they're out there. So those are the people I'm targeting. So if you're interested in getting this stuff, you get it in on it now. You can't sit around. We're at that point now. We have a working, verifiable third-party account, which people have been wanting, and we're showcasing that now. And you can see the growth in it. Trading, automated trading or not, it's grown. Okay, from 2 years ago, from $200-300 all the way up to 5,000, and really 6,000. Okay, so it's performed. So that's what people pay for, and I'm able to control that. So if, and especially with the Binance spot, let me show you something here. Okay, let me just show you something here. So I'm going to load up Investopedia's best crypto exchanges. Okay, so here I did this search. Okay, so these are the best the best crypto exchanges updated on April 9th, so a few days ago. Actually, today, actually. So Coinbase Pro overall, if you are a retail trader that doesn't have automation, maybe, but their commissions fees are too high. Okay, the coin selection sucks. Okay, the Coinbase, their fees are really high. Okay, and maybe Kraken might be the better one for this because their commission fees are lower, and plus they have a futures market that if you have access to it, trade it. But here's the other one. We don't care about this. Best for beginners, or hopefully you're past beginners. But for altcoins, right here, Binance, and this is being shown to you right now with CoinTracking. This is what I want to show you. So Binance is easily the best, and here is, what's this one? Decentralized. I don't know best because I don't know, but Binance, for what we do, this is the #1 exchange out there for sure for altcoins. If I was to say maybe overall, at least for the US, definitely Kraken, maybe, if they can get their ass together for better support. But overall, right now, Binance is easily the best in everything for me. But if the Kraken bot for US residents works out, I see no reason to keep the rates that they are, because it's performance, right? What more can I tell you? Anyone else? Okay, no. All right. So I'm going to assume there's no more questions, but I'm going to shut down now and leave it at that because I'm going for a while. Alrighty. Thanks for watching. And if you got any, you know where to reach me out if you have any questions. We'll talk to you soon. But do really consider this in the next few days to weeks, because I'm not going to keep this going the way it is. All right, we shall talk to you later. Have a good day.